Poormans Pinball Podcast live show. Today's show is brought to you by Pinstadium Lights. I put some awesome Neo Fusions in my turtles. I've been playing them for a couple of weeks. They are fucking awesome. That's right. It's going to be one of those shows where Drew's dropping F-bombs. What do you know?
It's early. It's real
Pinstadium
early,
Lights. Go to Pinstadiums. Tell Scott we sent you. Use the code
Scott.
Poormans at checkout for 10% off your order. Buy some accessories. Get 10% off. Get some free shipping. Get other stuff. It's great. This episode is also brought to you by TWIP, This Week in Pinball. Jeff Patterson, we steal most of our stuff from him. He is the source for news and pinball. We love TWIP here at the Poormans Pinball Podcast. Check out This Week in Pinball for all the latest and greatest pinball news. We are also brought to you by pinballprices.com. Doc Finlay takes all the prices from all the sales that he can gather, and he puts them in one cohesive thing for you to read. If you're buying a machine, you're selling a machine, pinballprices.com. You can check out sales that have already happened. You can see what your machine is worth. It's awesome.
And he bought us booze.
So he bought us
really cool.
He bought us Poorman's Pinball Kessler.
He did.
That's not a sponsor of the show. We also have Pinshades. Go to Pinside. Go to the
I'll
Pinside.
put mine on right now to make you guys jealous.
Go to the Pinside Market. Check out Pinshades. Tell Jockton we sent you. Poorman at checkout for 10% off your order. Ian's going to style these for you in a minute here. They are awesome. You can track your balls. Things we love to do here at the Poorman's Pinball is
gotta know where they come from, where they go.
Tracking balls, all those crazy light shows from Dwight. My turtles, it blinds me every day, and then I'm like, fuck, I got these shades, and then I put them on, and I'm not blinded anymore.
I mean, how cool would you look wearing one of these, watching Guns N' Roses going off, right?
Oh, it'd be spectacular. And last but not least, we are brought to you by Flipping Out Pinball. Talk to our buddies Zach and Nicole. They are some of the best distributors in the business. You're looking for a new machine, they got it. The new Guns N' Roses, he's got it. It's a new shiny, he's definitely got it. The LEs, the CEs, well, we don't want to talk about CEs right now.
Womp womp.
A little bit of a sore subject, but you want something. You want Avengers, he's got it. He's got Deadpool, he's got Guardians of the Galaxy, he's got Star Wars Comic Edition. What else do you want?
Nothing. Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it. You're sick of talking already.
Are those boner biceps in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? Oh wait, what I mean by that, of course, is this is Poorman's Pinball Podcast, brought to you by Kesslers, dick weights, buttholes, boner biceps.
All right, we are here. We are live and in
Studio.
Is that how that works?
In live studio? Live person?
I don't know. I can't use words already. This is going to be a good episode.
But we have a poor man's first today.
What's our first?
Well, the first is Ian and I are in studio, and we have our first live guest. Welcome, everyone. Steven Silver to the podcast.
Steven Silver, welcome, brother.
Steven Silver comes to us.
Buttholes.
What a butthole. What a greeting. I love that. He's one of us.
Yeah. Can everyone hear Steven all right, or do we need to turn this shit up? Let us know in the chats.
Steven Silver, tell us who you are and who you work for, what you're doing.
Oh, I got to give my
name is...
Sorry, go ahead, Doug.
What it? Oh, we put on those Pinshades. My name is Steven Silver. I'm a video editor and animator in Houston, Texas, but for the last couple of years, I've been working as the creative director with Mulitmorphic, creating our latest game, Heist. And so I led the team of designers and engineers and programmers to put this machine together.
Those cheese slices are for Heist. Heist gets a lot of cheese slices around here.
We should say that Steven Silver is also the man who made all of our wonderful animations for this wonderful show you're enjoying right now.
Those cheese slices belong to Steven.
He is responsible. You know, it took him 3 years to draw every individual cheese slice.
That was a lot of cheese slices. What kind of cheese is that, Steven?
It's a artisanal yellow.
Tell us of your creative process to make cheat. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing that.
So let's start from the beginning of the show, Drew. Excuse me, episode 67.
67.
76.
Yeah, I was going to say
Dyslexic.
dyslexic. 76, sir. We're here.
And how was your week?
It was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was a good week?
It was a good week.
What you drinking there, pal?
Poormans Pinball Whiskey and Coke.
And Coke. And I am still chugging away at the Oktoberfest beers. I think I killed 3 out of the 7 breweries. So now I am on to Lakefront, which is our local brew.
Before we get too far into this, I just want to make sure that nobody sent us any sugar in a box this week.
No.
Because I am done with sugar in a box. I appreciate all the submissions. Not that that was a real contest, but that's what I'm calling it. A couple weeks ago, if you guys missed it, we had a moon pie tasting that was something out of this world.
Beaver nuggets.
And beaver nuggets. And then last week, we got a great care package from Jessie J.
Thank
down
you, Jessie.
under in Australia. That was awesome. She sent us Tim Tams. We did a Tim Tam Slam. So check out last week.
That was also a Dr. John
That
suggestion,
was-
the Tim Tam
Yeah,
Slam.
the Tim Tam Slam. I did forget. She sent me a video of a 15-second, Jessie J did, a 15-second clip of us doing the Tim Tam Slam.
Yes.
And
I didn't see it.
when I got sick of trying to suck that through the Tim Tam, I just dropped it and said no. She almost pissed her pants. She was laughing so hard. You just hear her in the background cracking up. And she goes, I just lost it. This was the best ever. And I watched this thing over like 2 or 3 times because it was so freaking funny.
Oh, my
That
God.
she got such enjoyment out of watching us just be idiots with these stupid Tim Tams.
It's been a while since I chugged liquor,
Yes,
but,
yes,
you know.
and we tried doing it through a chocolate wafer.
Yeah.
You know, when you say it like that, it just sounds really dumb. So here we are. So, anyways, today's episode won't be anything like that. We have Steven Silver. He's
No
the guy.
care packages. We're all good. We don't even have a mail. We have no notes. We
So-
have our guest, Steven Silver.
Steven, you didn't know this, but you are the babysitter for the day.
Oh,
Nice.
What are you drinking, Steven?
I believe I'm drinking some Sam's Club purified drinking water tonight. So
Perfect.
That's that
Yes.
triple distilled shit. That's good. That's that real good shit. All right, so let's hop into chat real quick and see who's all out there. We got pinball prices. We got Louis Cici. Good day.
Good
From
day.
Australia. Pete Quint, product placement. I don't know. Let's see. What else? Tish Edwards. Brian Cosner, our latest and greatest
tribe member.
We have Mike Williams, Roomeat, question mark. Brian Cosner says, sucking a Tim Tam sounds dirty. It does, dude. It does.
It was dirty.
It was super dirty. Jesse J's there. It was such a forlorn sound. No.
That was the part that got her. I dropped it. No. Not doing this shit.
No more. Rachel's here. Rachel, hello. I've been the babysitter, but so bad.
Yeah, Rachel, you got to keep us in line, lady.
I know it. Jeremy Schmitz is here. I'm out. Oh, he's already gone.
We
Later,
lost one
Jeremy.
already. Jeremy, thanks for stopping by.
He was like,
Peace
nope,
out.
if he needs a babysitter, it's over. It's over. All right. So, Steven Silver, my man. Again, thank you again for our animations. So, I wanted to talk a little bit today with you about, let's just start it with your background as far as pinball. I mean, when did you get into pinball? How did that all kind of turn about? Or did you hate pinball and you just had to get a job and this was the only guy hiring?
yeah, I looked at all the really lucrative industries out there, and I thought, the one that I could really cash in on. I went and when I was a kid, I was always gravitating to pinball because I sucked at Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and all these other games. And so pinball was something that I could go, and there's a pinbot at the bowling alley that I'd tear up all day long. And then I didn't really think about it for years. And about 10 years ago, there's a guy named David Van Ness. You might know him. He's the creative director over at Spooky Pinball.
Mm-hmm.
He moves to Houston. He's an Australian. He moves to Houston, he gets a job at my editing company, and David is this Aussie dude that's talking about, I'm going to go up to Arkansas and go buy a pinball machine. And I was just like, man, that's a lot of money. Like, why would you ever spend that much money on a pinball machine that is the same game or whatever? And it was not long before me and him were going to like local tournaments and stuff like that. And I started going out and buying. I caught the bug, and I got my first machine was that Data East Star Wars over there, and just kept going. And before long, I had more machines than he did. And then we would collect them. We would put them in our office at the editing company where we worked, and we both were getting involved with different people in the industry, going to shows. David started working with John Papaduke real early on before he created Zedware, and Jerry from Mulitmorphic came to TPF, and he brought this prototype machine of a pinball machine with this interactive ball tracking screen in it and real simple games and everything. But I was just blown away by this machine that he had built, this little white box that was a real prototype machine. He kind of stole the show at TPF that year, and he did a seminar where he took his boards and he built with just components. He built a pinball machine on the table in like 30 minutes and had, some basic code running where he was running flippers, and he had the DMD display and stuff. And I walked up to this guy after the show, and I was just like, man, I love what you're doing. I totally think it's really cool. And I work with video, so let me know if I can help you. And I've been working with them doing their video work and their promotional work ever since then. And then 2 years ago, he asked me if he asked the group of people that are all working with them, if anybody wanted to step up and work on this next game and be the creative director and kind of lead the team. And I said, I'd love to do it. And he picked me, and we took off to the races. So, and we released it. We released Heist in March of this year.
Okay. All right.
Right whenever COVID hit.
Sure. It was bad timing, no doubt. But there's a few things on there I want to talk about. Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
First game that got you into it was Bride of Pinball, and I find that very interesting because I feel like there are only 3 games that get people into pinball. It's always the Addams Family, Bride of Pinball, and the Black Knight.
I was gonna say Black Knight.
Yeah, Black Knight. That's it. Those are the 3. Those are like the holy trilogy of games to get people into pinball. Have you noticed that? I don't know. Something crazy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the only, but it's definitely a majority.
Oh my
sure.
God, everyone.
For
Oh
sure.
yeah, it's Addams Family. And then it's like, no, it's Bride, dude. It's always been Bride. Bride's what gets everybody in.
Well,
there.
and Addams Family.
And then you got the guy in the corner,
Yeah.
Black Knight. Dave Ritchie, play better. Black Knight.
Well, because that one taunted you. That was the
right.
thing about being in the arcade and hearing him like, you can't defeat me.
You can't get me. One of his 4 lines of text, and it threw people off. Chris Chandler's in the house. Jonathan Hall's in the house.
Welcome, guys.
Ari's in the house. We got some Attack from Mars people in here.
Mike Williams, you forgot about 8-Ball Deluxe. Yes.
Oh, that's another one.
So did the rest of the world. Where's our
Next thing
shot?
I wanted to know, I noticed about that story is it sounds to me, and I have not met Jerry yet, but is he truly a mad scientist? Because it sounds like he's into some mad scientist type shit.
Without the hair.
Without the hair. Well, you don't necessarily need the hair. I've seen it both ways, but
Yeah, they usually have that ring, though, at least.
the ring of madness.
The power down it.
Yeah, there you go.
So, how
Yeah.
close is he to a mad scientist in your opinion? And let's go by.
Mike Williams, I
I'm
love you. He
blown
called me an
away.
asshole.
I'm just blown away at the stuff that Jerry and TJ and Les and the guys there at Mulitmorphic are able to do. They come up with ideas, and then these ideas are put out into the world in no time. Just the whole concept. There's a new feature that we've got in a P3 called Twitch Connect, where if you're a streamer, you can get online and stream on your P3, and people in chat on Twitch can write commands, and it affects your machine in real time. I saw the entire process from that idea being mentioned to that idea being delivered, and it was an insanely short amount of time that he was able to pull that off.
So what can you have him
I'm
do?
just always blown away.
That's pretty cool. Give us an example of that.
Well, didn't they just do something recently with Ian Halvor? I believe they had a whole Twitch. They were sabotaging each other's machines. Could you explain and could you go a little bit more into detail on that?
Yeah, so like they did a triple stream. It was 4 people playing because you can have up to 4 people playing head to head online on Cosmic Kart Racing because there's 4 tracks in the game. So three. There was Kevin with Buffalo Pinball, Ian Hero, who's Gemma Goat, and Jerry were all streaming simultaneously while they were all connected to each other and playing each other in races. And I was in the 4th position over there, getting beat up by everybody. While you're playing Cosmic Kart Racing, this racing game, it has a way for the players to affect the other machines. So if you get a power up by hitting a target at a certain point, and you get a power up, let's say you get a roadblock. If you hit your launch button at that time to fire the roadblock, somebody else's machine has 2 walls and scoops that pop up in front of their ramps, so they can't hit the ramp shots while the walls and scoops are blocking those shots. And you can do an EMP, which causes them to spin out and lose speed, and then they got to hit shots again to get their speed back up. And it's basically your kart racing game, your classic kart racing game, where you're throwing power ups at each other, you're trying to go back and forth. And that kind of head-to-head gameplay, we've had it for years where you could put 2 P3s, 3 P3s, 4 P3s together and link them together and play them side by side at a show. We had 4 of them lined up at TPF a couple of years ago where people could play them side by side by the show. And that's amazing fun to be just playing lawyer ball at some point, just throwing power-ups at the friends, not even caring about winning anymore. You just want to screw over the guy next to you or whatever.
That's called lawyer
now that
ball?
we can do it, now that we can do it online head to head, it's possibly the most fun I've had playing pinball ever, because it's just this true competition where you're doing stuff that you can affect their machine in real time. With Twitch Connect, what you can do with your chat room is your chat room can go in there and you can set it up on your machine because your P3 is running as a chat bot, and every 15 or 20 seconds it'll say, okay, power-ups are ready. And the first person in chat who types EMP1 or EMP2, like, they're going to send an EMP to that racer. So they can spin out people, or they can give players a shield. So you could help certain players or hurt other players. And then they have these super power-ups that are kind of the ones that streamers can monetize. So they can say, for 100 bits or for 1,000 bits, you can play against me a blockade or a reverse flipper. So people can go and contribute. One person can say, cheer 100 reverse, and the other person, you can have a whole bunch of people stack up their bits together. And then it will tell you on the screen when you get that attack, all the chat people that played it against you. Like this many people played a blackout, and blackout's where your entire screen goes black, the lights go black in the back, and you're playing and you don't know what you're supposed to hit until the blackout's gone.
Awesome.
And so these kind of power-ups and stuff it's really cool to where people watching the gameplay can get involved, and then while you're playing the game, you can do traditional power-ups against each other the way you'd normally do it and play. And it's just a ton of fun because you're not taking turns waiting for the other person to play. You're in real time playing directly against the other person, affecting their machine, and they're affecting you. And the greatest moments in the world is when you can see the finish line of the race and you pass the person at the very last second, or you spin them out at the very last second and pass them up and everything, and everybody's cussing and screaming, and you hear it over the voice channel, and it's awesome. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like you're playing pinball in the year 3000, where the rest of us are still stuck in 89. So
a lot of our listeners are chiming in. They were part of this, and they were having fun in the Twitch chat. Is there a list of commands that was asked that they can, where they can see what they can do to affect the play, I guess?
Well, Twitch Connect is a platform-wide feature, so any game can use it. But right now, it's the first game that's using it is Cosmic Kart Racing.
Okay.
But you can do an EMP, which will do target. You say EMP : 1 or : 2, 3 or 4. You're basically targeting which racer you want to go against. It'll tell you. The chatbot will say, Racer 1 is Jerry, Racer 2 is Stevie, Racer 3 is Gamagoat, and so you say EMP3 and it'll attack Gamagoat, And then you've got Blockade, which will throw up it'll on their machine physically pop up the walls and scoops in front of their ramps, so they can't hit ramp shots for like 10 seconds. And then there's a shield, and then the one that's not in there yet, that's a power up that you can do in the game, is a boost, so it'll actually give you more speed, make you go faster. But that one's not put in yet. And the two super power ups are blackout, where your whole screen and the lights go black and you're playing in the dark. You don't know what's lit, what you're supposed to hit, and then it comes back. And then there's reverse flippers, where all of a sudden you get the idea. You're reverse flippers, and the strategy when you get a reverse flippers is just to start chimping the game, like double flipping until the thing is done, and that's the only way you can get through it. So
that is awesome. Yeah, Chris Chandler says, "Command,
saw that.
Drew, drink Kesslers." Here you go, Chris.
Oh.
See, we're interactive here at the Poormans Pinball Podcast. No, that is super cool. And what's really cool about it is you don't even
need the royalty checks. So
yeah, it's cool that
buttholes and cheese slices. Thanks,
the people watching can participate. Like, everyone in chat is saying they had so much fun doing that.
Oh yeah, that's probably got to be one of the best parts of.
Oh, you're watching a stream, but you're
actual community pinball.
Yes, yes, very cool.
Oh,
and we're scheduling. We haven't done it yet, but we're sometime soon. It's going to be probably next week. We're going to have another. We at the way Cosmic Kart Racing head-to-head gameplay works is at any time. We've got like a Discord channel where people can arrange for like, hey, anybody want to play right now? And you can jump online and host a race or jump on somebody else's race. But in a couple of weeks, we're hosting a WAN party where basically everybody who's got CCRs in the world can jump on, and we're all at the same time. And you can see in the room how many people are in there, how many races are running. You can jump in to decide this person's got 2 laps on this track and this person's got 3 laps on this track with these rules. And you can choose who you want to race against. And you can jump on our Discord channel and talk to each other while you're racing. And it's just, it's shit talking. It's just the most fun in pinball. Those WAN parties I live for every time we do it.
That's awesome.
So there's another one coming up pretty soon. And, with more people buying into the platform, anybody who, if you don't know what the P3 is, it's a multi-game platform where you can swap out physical game modules, and you can buy a game with Heist in it, and then you can also buy Cosmic Kart Racing for a fraction of the cost of a regular game, and swap out the modules whenever you want. You can play this game most of the time. Your family likes Cannon Lagoon. You can pop that in for the kids to play, or you can pop in Lexi Lightspeed and keep that in there for a while, and you swap out the games back and forth, or swap in software games. We just had a third-party game done by Nick Baldridge called Ranger in the Ruins for the Cosmic Kart Racing playfield. That's awesome. It's like a one-ball game that is, kind of based on EM rules with internet connectivity in mind, where you connect to a server and every person who's died on the path that you're walking on shows up as a ghost, and you can get items from them and stuff like that. And that was a third-party game that he wrote, and anybody who's got a CCR playfield can buy that for $150. Download it, put it on their machine, they're good to go.
Oh, so that's a lot cheaper than most of your modules, right?
Yeah, so that's just a software game, right? Mm-hmm. The modules, though, if you buy a module, the modules are anywhere from like $1,500 for the simple ones to $2,750 for Heist. But everybody who owned a P3 could buy Heist for $2,750, right? That's just a crazy deal, in my opinion, as far as the pinball world goes. That the caveat to that is always, well, you've got to own the system first, and you can buy a system with Heist. But once you're an owner in the system, the platform itself is you're paying more money up. You're paying like premium and LE money up front for this system, but then every new development, every new game after that, you get the benefit from. All owners get the benefit from. In the last year, we announced Bluetooth headphone support, and everybody who's got a P3 got Bluetooth and USB headphone support. We announced head-to-head gameplay. That's a platform-wide feature that anybody can design into any game, but everybody who had it could get the head-to-head gameplay. And as these features keep coming out, the Twitch Connect feature, anybody who's got a P3 who wants to start a Twitch stream or whatever can put that in there and then start generating interactions in the chat, which is good for your channel, and it's good for you making a little money on the side with encouraging people to spend bits for the higher power ups, and the people who own it are in control of all those parameters. So
Jesus Christ, that was a lot there. All right, hold on. Let me take a sip here. Let me try to focus on what the hell we just talked about.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
That was in just like 2 minutes. You wrapped up everything that the P3 system is, the multimorphic system is, some of the benefits of the system. We talked about the modular parts of the system. So you buy into the machine itself, but every game is a modular kit that you then can add to your machine. So in all, you are getting a cheaper pinball experience than buying every new machine that comes out, kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
very cool. And I always thought that was extremely cool.
No, it is, because when I hear you can buy Heist for $2,700 after you have the system, that's super appealing. So what do you say to people that, obviously the initial expense is what keeps some buyers away?
Yeah, so when we first launched the P3, the P3 has a starting price about $10,000 for the system and one game. And there's been occasionally deals that have gone along with that with multi-game discounts and stuff. But the market since that time has come up with every manufacturer has gotten
Tony.
all because it's expensive to make pinball machines, right? But the way we always talk about it is that it's a really good value at the end of the day, right? Because you get this system that's really good on maintenance and really good on has all this technology packed into it. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff packed into it, and then from that point on, but you see people online that have they buy 2 new in-box turns a year, or 2 new in-box from another manufacturer, 2 to 3 manufacturers a year, and stuff like that. You're saving money by the end of the day if you're buying 2 or once you buy your second platform, you're saving money over 2 new in-box purchases.
Right.
Basically in the market in most places, and so there's as an owner, I've worked on the system and I've done all this stuff, but I've also been an owner of the machine for quite a while, and as an owner, it's just been really awesome every time one of these new features has come out, and you just go upstairs and it's not like you've got to buy the next title that comes out to get those features or whatever. Like, I can download them and start using those features right away on the machine. And if I want to, if the model's different from the other companies in that, you can buy, like Lexi was the first game, you can buy Heist today, and then you get bored down the line, you can buy Lexi for a fraction of the cost of a regular game way down the line at any point. Most of these games don't ever go off the line. Like, we've got the ability to go back and buy these playfields anytime you want. And so, right now there's 4 different playfield modules that all together. There's like 6 or 7 different software only games that you can buy. And so just this machine has 10 games on it that I can go through and play, and it's got a real diverse set of gameplay rules. Like, you're not having the same kind of games every time. Like, Heist is way different from Cosmic Kart Racing, which is way different from Lexi, and it's way different from Cannon Lagoon. And so there's something for everybody in my family. My kids love playing Barnyard and Rocks, and they also like playing the more complicated games, but there's stuff in there that everybody in your family can get on board with real easy.
Drew and I play Rocks when we repair our machines, but that's a different type of game. So yeah, we have a few questions here in chat. I wanted to throw this at you. Mike Williams, I know anyone can design a game, but how many people are there at P3 designing new games?
We've got a team of people that are working on different things. There's we've got like 3 or 4. It fluctuates between people. Most people are working part-time on these things. That's why it takes a little longer sometimes to do this stuff. But, we've got in Mulitmorphic in-house, there's an engineering department. There's software dev team, there's customer support, there's a bunch of different areas like this. But the one thing that I think is really cool about the platform is that there's a free dev kit that you can download. You can email Jerry or email support at Mulitmorphic and get this dev kit, and then you don't have to have a P3 physically to start playing around in Unity and building your own games, your own game ideas, right? It helps if you've got one, because then you can put it on the machine and test it out. But we've had people that have developed games, without touching a P3 before. I mean, they've asked other people with P3s to test them out and stuff like that. But one of my favorite things that happened was Gamma Goat in Harrower, Buffalo Pinball had a contest for their theme song, like performing their theme song, and he wrote a game where basically as you made the shots, it would sing the lines from the theme song. And so he made a game to play the theme song and went through. And so it had to finish with the double super jackpot with the side loop on Heist. And he pulled that off in 2 days or something like that. And so that kind of stuff I always get a kick out of. I love seeing what other people do with this platform.
Yeah, and Tony Squadero asked, can there be swap playfields between friends? Yeah, and yes, the answer is yes. If you guys both have a P3 system and one guy has Heist and one guy has Lexi Light Speed, you guys could just swap modules, right?
I think so. There might be something that ties it to the machine. I've got to check with Jerry on that.
Oh, so there might be some IP conflicts or something?
Well, it might be for
Quit stealing each other's shit. Pay for it. Sorry.
No, but in theory it should work, but you might need to transfer the license or something like that, or transfer the something or other for the time period, because you can sell it from one owner to another. Mm-hmm. You got to call support and say, okay, this is being used on this P3 now or whatever. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it can happen. You can definitely do that.
All right. So the next question, Chris Chandler. But does the P3 system have a pin bar?
It does not. Well, so it doesn't have a pin bar.
Chris Chandler, you're a dick, by the way. It does not have a pin bar. The whole goddamn thing's a pin bar. That's what's cool about it. God damn it. There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
There.
The lower play field area is a ball tracking LCD screen. So it extends below the flippers, right? So where the big thing that Pinball were saying is that they're moving it so you don't have to look at a back box to look at your display. Well, we've been doing that for years by putting what we call the playfield LCD underneath your flippers that has your scores and all your progress underneath your flippers. And the great thing about that screen is that it allows you to put up information super clearly about what you have to do in a pinball machine. And that's something as a person who used to be in the pinball when I was a kid and really loving System 11 games and stuff like that, I'd come up and I'd play these new machines and I couldn't tell, everything was flashing, everything was lit. I couldn't tell what you're supposed to shoot. And I've never heard anybody walk up to a P3 and be like, I don't know what to do, because it's right there in front of your face. Every shot we can do dynamic shot markers. We can make it real clear. This is what you've got to do. You can do really involved instructions about things to simplify the experience for people when they walk up to the machine. And all the score information and stuff is right there where your eyes are. You can just glance down literally right, millimeters below the flipper to see how you're doing. And we've also got the back box display, which also shows that content for everybody else that's watching for a traditional pinball experience. So
fucking cool. Tim Lee asks, can I modify the Heist code? I know there is an SDK, but can I modify an existing game?
I don't think you've got. We don't open source the games. This is more technical stuff than I'm equipped to handle. I'm the idiot on the team. But
that's not true. You're a creative director.
I'm the idiot on our team.
It's true.
So what happens is I don't think that the code for Heist is actually open source that you can get in there and play with it, but with the SDK, it comes with a pre-built basic game kit, so you can start off right away with making the thing flip and doing some simple things, and you can write your game for the Heist playfield, just doing different things. But I don't think you would start with Heist and then go in there and manipulate the code I'm don't quote me on that, but I don't think that you're able to actually get into the actual code for those games. It's something that might happen in the future, but right now it's. I would talk to people like Yamagoat and Nick Baldridge. They both Nick runs a couple of Pinside threads where he talks about the various games that he's done, and they can tell you about the development process on P3. I think Nick went from like idea to game in the store with Ranger in the Ruins in like 71 days or something, which is a one-man show, him working part-time and on the weekends, which just is amazing. So I'm not a programmer at all, so I don't understand those things, but Unity is the what we've built the software on, and it's something that a lot of like mobile games and apps are built on. And I'm a complete idiot when it comes to this stuff, but I can poke around and figure out my way through Unity and figure out what you got to do. So it's definitely an inviting environment if you are a coder and want to play around with it.
Tim
So
Lee,
I call Jerry and get the SDK.
Yep, Tim Lee, go for it, brother. You can finally have your Transformer G1 if you spend enough time.
Canado will buy it from you.
All right, Chris Chandler, are there global leaderboards that anyone can take a peek at? Are there global leaderboards for the P3?
That's something that's on the feature list that we always have had in mind whenever we're talking about the network features. But the priority has been if you're going to introduce internet connectivity in a pinball machine, you want to do it in a way that's fun first and a way that is you're going to get the most bang for your buck out of. So all the dev time has been put into making these games play against each other head to head first, and then stuff like leaderboards and stuff. There's apps and there's stuff out there you can do, but that's definitely that's something we plan to do, but we're not typically in the business of just publishing a list of stuff we plan on doing. We're publishing stuff that we have done, and that list is growing longer every day.
Are there any more titles planned for this year, and how many titles do you anticipate for next year?
How about
what's comment on any.
What's the development cycle like? How long does it take to make a game?
I can't speak for any other company because I don't know what their system are like, but I can just tell you it took us about 2 years to develop Heist, and our original plan was to shoot for a year. And it's just you've got to handle all the different aspects of it. The way we did it was when we first sat down and we started talking about layout and the layout and design phase of this. The reason I don't, when we were talking about the title, we went with creative director instead of designer because the word designer like implies that you're the guy that laid out every single track and everything else, and everything about this game was very much a team effort. Everybody was like, when we were laying out, everybody was pitching in ideas, and we were picking the best ideas from everybody's to come up with this playfield that we put together. But we kind of laid out some basic goals for the game. Like I wanted to bring more physical interaction down the playfield and more physical components floating components onto the playfield, because a lot of people think that the P3 is just the back third and you don't get any interaction down the playfield. And the truth is that you can design anything you want on that lower playfield. You just got to rethink about it. So the way we did that in Heist is that we created the upper flipper module that is backwards compatible with our old games, and we created the crane that can bring a ball out and dangle it over the playfield. You can smack the crane can throw balls at you, and it's something that brings just a huge variety of short shots into the game at various times in the game, and it gets a lot of use in there. And then we got this real flowy layout to where under normal play circumstances, you can get the ball moving pretty fast and go in every which way you want. But another benefit of the P3 is that we've got built into the basic platform are these 8 vertical up kickers in the back that you can use you can access any one of those to get balls from our infinity trough in the back. and kick out a ton of balls. And so one thing we did was we made all those shots where we can grab a ball off the playfield from any shot, kick it out any other place, you know. And so that process of getting it down, just that probably took a couple of months. And then the engineering guys, I worked with them while they were trying to make all these ideas come to work and become manufacturable. And while the software guys took off and we started writing rules and then building assets and working with the artist for over a year trying to get all these assets into the game. Because that's one thing that I think everybody underestimates when you start putting these screens in pinball machines, is that it takes a lot of time to build all those assets and to make all those items. And sometimes, I mean, that's why
Absolutely.
some of these companies have
I was
massive,
gonna. I'm interrupting you because you need your voice needs a break here. I feel like you're gonna not be able to go into work and use your voice tomorrow. So, so we have, so we actually let's get into Heist. Obviously, so we have all the pictures that you sent us. So we have it kind of playing as a slideshow in the background. And I have to tell you, Drew and I, when we were on here and we saw it for the first time, love at first sight, Drew.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we saw that thing and we're like, this is pinball. Because, you know, for a long time, the big knock was, well, this isn't really pinball, quote unquote, and all this stuff.
Right.
And you see this thing and you're like, no, this is a great pinball game with very cool mechs.
It's you know, before, I don't want to take anything away from all the hard work, but I am going to say it. Some of the earlier games and a lot of the games, they do seem like, you know, like, you know, kind of generic games. They really do. And that, my vocabulary has failed me terribly, but that's all I can say. But Heist is the first one where it's like I feel like we have a whole world here. We have a story, and it interacts with the background and it tells this entire tale. And I love the mech. I love the cityscape. I love just how this thing kind of pops. I even like the bar that goes across with I don't even know, what do you call that, Steven? The bar that goes across the orange, green, blue, purple, red, orange.
Yeah, that's the wall scoop assembly. So at any point in the playfield, we can pop a scoop up and capture the ball, or we can pop up a wall and block a ball.
Orbital Albert says the crane is perhaps the coolest looking mech of all time. And yes, very cool. It's functional. And it does more than one thing.
Right.
You know, that's what's really neat about it, because it's like it doesn't just do one thing.
Well, you're a Last Action Hero guy. What did that fucking crane do besides wake up your neighbors?
The shaker motors going and that thing. Oh man. You know, so yeah, cranes have long been a part of pinball. There's obviously several games with a crane in it, even to this day with Batman 66, but this one does so much more than all of those.
Yeah, it actually showed up and it said, no, you guys forgot how to be a crane.
I'm a transformer crane. I can do it all.
This crane is extremely interactive. It's so cool. So Steven, let's go back to, let's start off with the actual game itself, the storyline. What's the story with Heist? Who do you play as, or are you assembling a team? Tell us a little bit of the background of the story here.
Yeah, the story is basically you are assembling this team of, you know, the various criminals in this town, in this fictional town of Ocean City. And the big bad, the mark that you're going after is Frank Bigelow. And we call him Mr. Big in the game. But Frank Bigelow, he basically is this billionaire that came into town, bought up everything. He controls the entire city. Like on all the properties, you see like little big puns everywhere. So there's like there's a train station in the middle of the playfield that's called Grande Central Station, and there's like, you know, Bigelow Galleries. There's big savings and loan and stuff like that. So he's somebody who puts his name on everything. And so when we were coming up with the story, we were like, well, it's a, you know, you're the bad guys, but you're the good guys in the game. And so we wanted like all the crimes that are happening in the game, everything's targeted at Mr. Big's properties and his stuff and his money. So like the wheelman stealing his car, and then the safecrackers robbing his bank.
Streets of Rage meets Ocean's 11. Very, very cool. I like that idea.
Yeah.
So with this game and with the story and everything, the animation style is absolutely gorgeous. The overhead view of the city. Was that you? Did you do all the animation work on this?
Yeah, so I'm not the artist on it. We hired Jose Fernandez. He's a Houston-based artist. He does all the artwork for the Houston Arcade Expo every year, and he's just an extremely talented guy. So I got him to do all the character art and all the people, but then I animated all, and I, when I was trying to think of what we're going to do in our home screen, our main mode, Apple TV has a screensaver where it's a camera just looking down at Manhattan and at night. And I was like, that'd be cool, just have this cityscape coming at you. And it's kind of got an effect when the ball's rolling over it away from you. It feels like it's going faster, as you're going over it. And then that's kind of our framing mechanism. You're in Ocean City and playing in Ocean City, and every time you start one of these little missions or whatever, we pop up a mode window where you're in that world of whatever that character's doing, and you can see a close up of them robbing a bank, or the cat burglar is dangling over the lab and picking up all the parts and everything. So it's but yeah, that's
it's basically
I did all the animations in it, and that's a lot of assets that we have to come up with. So
yeah, I'm a sucker for the cartoony type animations, so that's just like right up my alley. Everything about it, between the mechs and that and this, and very, very cool. And we keep going back to the crane there.
Yeah, you mentioned the assets. Now, for a bunch of novices like us, we always like to talk about, the benefits of having, a licensed theme versus creating something original. And then there's obviously a lot of negatives too, meaning, you have to create fucking everything if you don't have a license. And if you did have a license, you are basically at the whim of the license provider. Do you think Jerry will ever get to that point where he wants to try a licensed theme? And would you like to work on a licensed theme? And if there is there a licensed theme you'd like to work on? Multi-pronged question there, pal. Lots of things going on.
Oh, good thing I don't like to talk. Yeah, so
You're making my job easier, sir. I love it.
Jerry's, like, from day one, we've talked about different licenses and everything. The thing about Mulitmorphic is, you understand, when Mulitmorphic came up, that was the same time a lot of these other boutique companies were coming up and taking pre-order money and funding development with pre-order money, and that's something that Jerry never did from day one. That's one reason why I latched on and started working with him from the beginning, because he's like, I will never use a dime of pre-order money to pay for the development of that machine. That money is, if it's there, it's in a bank account that's waiting to buy parts for your machine so it can get built, right? So this company is like the very definition of a bootstrapped company, to where we've been doing everything on our own dime, developing everything on our own dime, not being funded by customer money. And it's played out historically that was a really bad idea. And a lot of people lost a lot of money at different companies going that route, right? So that's the trade-off of that has been, you have limited funds. You got to figure out how to spend them, right?
Right.
When the first game that came out, Lexi Lightspeed, a lot of people don't know this, but Lexi Lightspeed was designed by Dennis Norton. He came up with the story, and he came up with the playfield design. He came up with that cool 9-ball physical ball lock in the ship. And then that's where the money was spent at the beginning of Lexi Lightspeed, and then they went in, they built out the rest of the game and the story around that, right? And so the focus of the company in the beginning has been about, this is a multi-game platform, a multi-game system. It's not going to be showing its promise if, like, everything's put into, like, this one title at the beginning. Right now, because of the way we've gone with non-licensed themes, original themes, we've been able to create 4 different playfields that people who are buying the system now have the option of buying 4 different games for their system, plus all the mini games and software-only games that come along with it. And we've shown basically what the platform can do. In the future, of course, we're looking at licensed themes. We'd love to work on licensed themes, and we'd love to get those things going. I won't really comment on any of the ones that
Futurama.
I'd like to do, because that has, if you say a license out loud, that has a habit of getting snatched up by somebody else. And so I don't want to do that. But
Futurama.
I will say that, yeah, we'd like to do it. I think Futurama would be a fun game, but
And it's taken.
now that you said it's probably sure that nobody will get to do it. So,
And it's gone.
It's gone. It's gone. Sorry, Steven. Sorry, Steven. All right. So very cool. Very cool. We did have some interesting conversations here on chat.
Well, like ones pertaining to what we're talking about.
All right. Lots of interesting shit, but nothing to do with pinball. So like usual, Steven Silver, we miss you in chat. You're usually pretty good leading these monkeys all over the place. So, all right. So let's see what we got
you
here.
listeners are degenerates. I don't know why we hang out with you.
We love you all. So Jonathan
eventually
Hall.
they let the degenerates on the air, though. So
Yes. So Jonathan Hall, this is a question that's kind of been brought up this week in the pinball media, and we might as well just kind of bring it here. Are we bringing back the direct-to-customer versus distributor conversation for this? Would be interested in what he has to say about it. Not the prepay model, but the direct-to-customer model. So I know this is probably outside of your wheelhouse. It's probably more of a Jerry question, but do you have an opinion regarding distributorship versus direct-to-customers? Have you guys seen a big boom with distributors versus people that want to order direct from you?
Hello, Sean.
I would just, those kind of distributor questions, that's completely outside of my wheelhouse. That's all Jerry. That's the business side of things that I don't have any control over. So I just
So the answer is yes.
will say
kids.
that there's a lot of different times whenever, both models make sense. Both models have their place. And it's just, you've as a company, you've just got to figure out the right mix of how you do that,
All right. No worries, brother. No worries. We have to ask the question because a lot of it coming up this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about the different models, which is fine.
Whatever. I have no opinion because I don't buy pinball machines.
Yeah,
All right. Let's see. Rachel, if I could buy brand new, I would buy direct. Well, yeah. I mean, I think there's pluses and minuses for both, right? So, all right. So
some people have great relationships with their distributor,
right,
and they want to go to their distributor and work that out. So, like you said, there's pros and cons for. There's always trade-offs in everything that you do, and you just gotta try to find the right mix. So.
All right. So back to Heist. So how has Heist been for Jerry and you guys? Has it been kind of a mover considering COVID and everything, or how do you feel like the sales have been so far for the machine?
Yeah, I mean it's been going well. It's been selling at a steady pace. It's been good. The one thing that we've noticed and that we've braced for is every time a new pin comes out, you always have people that are loving it right away, but you always have a big mix of opinions. And we've seen like people who are getting this game and getting into their houses, they absolutely love it. And we just keep hearing like people who have actually gotten a chance to put their hands on it have nothing but good things to say about it. And so we're extremely proud of that and extremely happy. And that's something that, you don't see on any game. Like somebody gets it and like goes and tears it up on Pinside or says some terrible things about it. So
two separate
Not
questions.
on Pinside.
Yeah.
No.
Two separate questions just came in, Steven. How's the screen hold up over time, and are there coin mechs with all the games?
Ooh.
Yeah, every game has coin mechs, and the screen actually has a plastic layer that's on top of the screen. So the way we do our ball tracking is that there's an IR grid that's over that playfield, and the plastic is actually in between the screen. And so when you have to, Ian Harrow had a picture, he's like the best cleaning experience in pinball. You just open it up, you slide out that piece of plastic, and if anything happened to it, you could go down to your hardware store and buy a new piece of plastic, get it cut and slide it back in. But it's
Cool.
You just pull it out and you clean it and you put it back in. The ball never touches the actual television screen itself. The video screen itself, it's rolling around on that Lexan. So
And is that like a standard kind of replacement LCD, or is that very specialized?
yeah, no, everything in this machine is off the shelf. parts, right?
Okay.
I mean, besides the in Heist, we custom design. We didn't go find a crane somewhere. We custom design that thing, but
Sure.
all these things are from the everything in this machine is stuff that you can get pretty easily. So let's say at some point, for some reason, there's a screen technology upgrade that we want to do. The one thing that's awesome about this machine is that everything, when we talk about it being modular, literally everything in this machine is modular. I can pop it open and you can pull out the flipper modules, you unplug one cable, you pull out the flipper modules. The motto of the company is kind of like you take your machine to your soldering iron. You don't take your soldering iron to the machine. So you can everything's in there is on rails. So you can unplug the monitor, slide it out, replace it, slide a new one in. You can, some things take a little bit longer than others, but the entire platform is really, really, really well engineered. And that's entirely on Jerry and Les and TJ that did that. Those guys are absolute geniuses when it came to how well put together this machine is and how well thought out everything is.
Sounds like a goddamn transformer. I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at some of your games back there. So you had a Data East Star Wars. I think that's a Whitewater and a World Cup Soccer. Am I right?
Yeah.
And of course the Multimorphic. So out of those, which one's the hardest machine to maintain?
Well, I've tried to go through and do a full shop job on Whitewater, and I didn't get down to tearing off that upper playfield. I think that that Whitewater is really hard to get down and get to some of that harder to reach stuff. So yeah,
I've played that game. I've played that game. That was not a fun teardown at all, Whitewater. All right, very cool. So out of those 4 games, what gets the most love? It sounds like the Multimorphic because the whole family's loving that one, huh?
Yeah, but what else am I gonna say? Like seriously, it
was a trick question.
I'm
just trying to sell it for you.
All right, take Multimorphic out of it. Of the other 3, what gets the most play?
All right, there you go.
For me personally, like I love Whitewater and I've got a skate ball over here in the corner and I love those single level like valleys from the 80s. So
yes.
I've got that skate ball is one of my favorites. I can go up to skate ball all day long. And I really love World Cup Soccer because I really like approachable games and games that are easy to understand and things like that.
Yeah, goal!
Yeah.
That's all I knew, and it's fun. Every time you hit a goal, it's great.
Well, and the World Cup Soccer is one of those games where I've been at bars and I've been at clubs and I've seen people that are obviously they're there with somebody who's into pinball and they don't know anything about pinball. And I see them just shooting unlit goals all day long and like getting real excited every single time they do it. And they're not scoring any points about it or anything. But that thing is so simple. It's so easy to understand what the thing is. And when the guy starts moving and they get it in there, people just get really excited about it. And
you feel you did
I love
something.
that kind of stuff. I love when my daughter's friends can come over and do all that. But with my kids, they all like Star Wars because the license. They like going and they're like, I recognize the robots.
Sure. So what's next for Multimorphic? What's gonna? Are you working on another game? You don't have to tell us what game it is, but are you on to the next project?
Well, I'm right now. I'm finishing up Heist. Like we're finished. We're working on the wizard mode, getting that last. The whole idea with the game is that you're going through the story of getting your crew together. You can do these. You can do these mini heists, the mastermind modes where you go and you do these heists, but then it's all supposed to build to the big final heist at the end where you're going through and really taking it to Mr. Big. So I'm working on that, but then there's a couple other projects in the works that we're everybody's involved in, and that's pretty much all I can say about that. And there's always new idea for the technology that's coming along.
So we just got a couple of comments about Skateball, Steven, that Keith Elwin has gone on record saying Skateball is the only game he's kept in his collection. And Tony Hawk, this is all from Orbital Albert, Tony Hawk, it's the only game he owns. So the greatest of all time owns Skateball. So you must be the greatest of all time at your craft.
Yes, that's how it works.
Skateball is the key. Yes.
I don't know skateball. I'm sucking at everything. So
we suck at everything.
I need to get myself a skateball, brother.
I'll tell you what, like, God, I love that game. I played it the first time at TPF like 8 years ago, and I was looking for one forever, and then finally got a player one. But I just those single level that's the game that really made me start loving those old ballets, and I'd love to get a Fathom, but that's unobtainium these days. But
it's way too much for what it is. But yeah, Fathom and Skateball's great. It's a good player. We played at MGC. There's a guy around. I don't know. He always takes that skateball, that really souped up skateball
with the
around.
skateboard on top.
Yeah,
and
he glued a bunch of skateboards on it and won a bunch of awards. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, very cool.
So, all right, well, Steven, I think that'll wrap up the interview, though. But do you want to say anything else? Any final parting words of wisdom to everybody?
Well, I just say, people are always want to talk about, that everybody's excited about the next new license theme or something that comes out, and I just want to say that if you've seen pictures of the P3 and you've seen different things and you weren't drawn to it because you didn't understand like what Lexi was or what Cosmic Kart Racing was and everything, get a chance to get your hands on it and play it. If a distributor's got one, you want to go check it out at their place. We had an online head-to-head at a distributor's party the other day, and it was a blast. Everybody was going back and forth and trading places and stuff like that. So I would say check out Cosmic Kart Racing again. Check out Lexi Lightspeed again. Lexi, I think, is a criminally underrated game just because most people just look at it and they don't give it a chance to go up and play it and see all. It was kind of the game that first went through everything you could do technically on the game and make it happen. And I would say really give the platform a look and a chance, and I hope you all get a chance to play Heist at some point. I really, really hope we're able to start playing pinball again. We're able to get these things out there so people can check it out. And whatever gateway you get into the P3, it's a great experience as an owner, and we're extremely proud of Heist, and we'd love you to check it out. And then once you're into the platform, you get the benefit every time these new developments come out, these new features come out, and these new games come out. And from that point on, it's just no-brainer purchases. Like, it's a no-brainer. It's a $150 new game that is a really awesome party game that somebody made, a third party made. You're gonna buy that and put it on your machine and add it to your library. And that's the idea at the end of the day, is that people are building up these libraries of games.
Yes, and it seems to only be getting better. So very cool. I know Drew and I are going to seek one out, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
And Steven, you're going to help us with that. We'll talk about that later.
Hands on one.
But we are definitely, that's on the plan.
Futurama, take my money. Take my money.
Yep. But again, thank you, Steven, for spending some time with us. And
Steven, this was great. I really appreciate
shedding
it.
some more light on Mulitmorphic, because it just doesn't get enough airtime, I think. And we were happy to do it. And
I apologize for all the buttholes in chat.
we were very starstruck when you offered to help us with our animations. I was like, oh, shit, the dude from Heist is going to actually help us. So
Yeah, a real professional.
yeah, so and he knocked those animations out in like a day because he's a fucking stud.
Yeah, Ian goes, Steven's good. No, seriously. No, I want to tell everyone this.
Yeah.
Ian said, Steven's going to help us with these animations. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then maybe we'll have them in a couple of weeks. And like a day or two later, he's like, here's your animations. And
He was
we're
like, they were
"What?"
fun. And I had never thought I'd have to write out a whole description on cheese slices before.
This is what we want.
Yeah.
These are the cheese
These
slices
are
we need.
Drew's issues in his life, but we really
They're not
appreciate it.
artisanally yellow enough.
Yes, yes. But thank you very much, Steven, for the time. We really appreciate it, and thank you for being such a good friend. And people, if you are out there and you have a Mulitmorphic to try, I highly suggest it. And Drew and I are also going to try our best to get our hands on one and play the hell out of it.
We'll go visit Gamma Goat up in Canada.
And Ian Hauer, tribe member number whatever. He's mean anyway. I don't
4
care.
or 5.
Ian's mean to us anyway.
Ian, how come you're not even here tonight?
We love you, Ian.
Yeah,
All right.
we
Well, thank you, Steven, again, and have a good night, okay?
All right, thanks, guys. I
Thanks a
appreciate
lot,
it.
Steven.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. So, everybody, that was Steven.
That was Steven. That was a great interview. It was very
Yeah,
cool.
it was a good shot trying to do an interview that here we'll hide Steven's face there. All right, there we go. It was an experiment to see if we can get an interview working in this kind of format. I thought it did all right. What did you guys think about it?
And Dr. John, you resemble that remark. I think you meant you resent that remark, and I don't take it back. You guys are buttholes.
You guys in chat, you fucking
I'm
sophomore people, man. I'm telling you.
I'm trying to be serious. You know, we have this rule.
Just trying to listen.
I'm focused, and then
People are writing code for Drew's nipples. What is going on out there?
Oh, there are now 3 links in there about Drew's nipples.
Oh my God!
There's a Twitter page now, Drew's fans of nipples or something.
I'm pretty sure everyone is a fan of Drew today. I didn't see one positive thing about me this whole night. It was all about Drew and his beautiful red face and his shiny nipples, or whatever the fuck Jesse J. Jesse J might have a little crush back on you, Drew. So
it works out okay.
It's a love star-crossed lovers.
Yep.
From across the planet.
What does my wife always say? She can have you. That's my wife's favorite line. Oh. She loves me. Mm-hmm. Jesse J, honestly, did either of you expect anything else from us?
No.
You guys delivered.
Yeah, it was great.
No, this is what we. Oh, John. No, we resemble buttholes. Yeah, you do, Dr. John. Mike Williams. I think it went really great.
I did too, Mike.
Good job, buttholes. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it was fun. I thought it was great when we were doing all the quiet stuff while Steven Silver was talking.
Yes.
Because we're really paying attention, and then it's just like, oh. Okay, we're gonna play this game now where we're gonna try to not laugh, and just do like ridiculous things.
And then they would point it out. Like, look at him try to read it and not laugh.
Oh, it was tough, but that was fun.
I'm telling you.
Jesse J, is polygamy a thing in Wisconsin? I don't know. Let's ask my wife. Let's make this a thing.
You see this picture, Jonathan Hall? That's a great picture, by the way, buddy. We're gonna.
Oh. That's going on our main page.
Jonathan Hall.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna have to share that one, Jonathan Hall.
My God.
But
too good.
So the Multimorphic. Let's talk a little bit about that, Drew. Do you want to talk a little bit more? Or do you want to go into
Steven Silver? Hi, buttholes. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Steven Silver, you did great, man. We really appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely, dude.
Thank you so much. That was cool. Very fun.
Yeah, but what do you want to do, Drew? Do you want to talk about what's been going on this week? Or?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, all right.
Lots of GNR stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
I heard, so I was listening to the Pinball Show, and Dennis Kriesel had a very interesting take on Guns N' Roses. He's like, the game looks great, as most, like nobody has said the game doesn't look good, right? The game just looks great.
Yeah.
Everyone can agree there. He said it looked a little easy.
How does he figure that?
Well, he watched some of the stream.
More than I did.
It's very multi-ball heavy. So, the whole game, even like Canadian will say, they focused on integration. They focused on the AV audio.
The show.
Yeah, exactly. Making a concert in the game, which they did bang up, knock it out of the park job with.
Right.
And then I was thinking about it, and Tim Lee has switched his position now. He might not be getting Avengers. I think he's getting a Guns N' Roses. So he's the first person I know that said, I'm in on an Avengers, and now maybe it's GNR, which I'm sure there's other people out there like that.
Right.
But
he had a good point to, I don't know, it was a couple days ago on the Poormans Pinball fan page. He asked why he couldn't like both games. You know how people get so defensive about one or the other?
Yep.
I mean, that goes back to, we experienced that when we were playing Oktoberfest, Black Knight, and Willy Wonka.
Who had that good response to that? Was that Billy YJ or was that Jonathan Hall?
I'm not sure.
I think it was one of them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, but one of them responded to that saying, yeah, people have such an affinity for certain brands that they won't even take notice of a good game, basically.
Oh, that was me.
No, that wasn't you. But
Shit.
You know what I mean?
I said something similar to that.
But it kind of made sense because it's like some people are such Stern fanboys that they're like, oh, this JJP crap.
The Stern Army.
Yeah. And
sorry, they're kind of cocksuckers. A little bit.
I just think
little
that, you know me.
Love all pinball.
I am a Stern fanboy, but I'm like, yeah, if it's a good pinball game, it's a fucking good pinball game.
You're a Stern fanboy that's owned a JJP game.
Yep.
That's owned
Williams
games,
yep.
Data East games.
Yep, I've owned them all.
Spooky games.
Yep. Because they were
You're a
good
pinball
games.
fan, dude.
Yes, exactly. And I just like to have fun with them. And this whole thing about people just getting bent out of shape, it drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. But anyways, back to the dentist thing. I think it was a very fair assessment because he did give it a lot of high marks for different things.
Right.
And then he said, well, it's multi-ball heavy. I'm not really into that, which is fine. It looked like it was a easier shooter, which it might be, it's approachable, which is cool.
Sure.
So for the families and stuff out there, I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think it's a home run still.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So here, Dr. John, I own Stern, JJP, and Spooky are all different. It makes them great. Yes, you are absolutely right. It's basically Canada that's bent out of shape about Oktoberfest, says Jonathan Hall.
Yeah. No, I think when we were dealing with it, it was more or less Wonka versus Black Knight, and the Stern people were talking about how great Black Knight was and how terrible Wonka was, but they couldn't even bring it to themselves to say that Wonka was a good game, like design wise and everything.
Sure,
and it was so ridiculous. Like they got so defensive over Black Knight and so dismissive of Wonka, almost made me automatically hate Black Knight even more, just because, fuck these guys. These guys are ridiculous. You can't even acknowledge that Wonka's a good game.
Sure, it's a great game.
It is a good game.
Orbital Albert, I am a Stern and Spooky and JJP fanboy, but Bally's are overrated. What?
Coming from you, Orby?
Yeah,
Orby?
Some of them are, I guess.
Orby.
Well, kind of what we were talking about, like the Fathoms of the World.
A lot of
Some of the single level games, they're beautiful, but they might not be great pinball games. I don't know. I mean, it's all subjective.
Rachel, you're right. I don't get why people can't just be like, "Hey, cool game. Did you see the new thing?"
Are we in high school,
Totally.
Rachel?
Totally.
Yes, we are, because we're fixated on Drew's nipples.
Yeah, well, some of you fuckers are. I don't know, but I hope you're not. Everyone has to be over 18 to listen to this crap. But yeah, no, I agree with you 100%, Rachel. It should be something like, "Hey, doesn't that look cool?"
Yeah.
Hey, doesn't that look cool?
Yeah.
And I think I've gotten better over the past year when we do this show to communicate that, all right, maybe a game isn't really for me. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad game. It just might not be for me. But I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there that love that game.
I'm friggin' kidding. Are you high? Bally's are the best.
There we go.
That's the Orby I know.
Yeah, Orby.
I love all Bally's. They're awesome.
Orby hasn't said a negative thing about pinball in like 328 episodes or whatever he's on.
So just to that point, quickly, I play Laser Q more than I play Simpsons. Does that mean, you know what I mean? I love looking at Simpsons. I love it. It's a great game. I play it, certainly.
Yeah.
But Laser Q is an old Williams game from 1984.
Sure.
And it's just fun, so that's what I mean. People are just so... Have some fun. Have some fun in your life.
Yeah. People are upset that Kaneda likes Guns N' Roses so much. Yeah, I get it. He's loud. He has a voice out there, and it just doesn't seem to want to turn off anytime soon. It's constant.
No, it is.
He's gone to a whole nother level. It's like bye-bye Kaneda. But hey, man, I'm letting him go. I'm not going to criticize him. I love the guy.
Live and let die.
Live and let die.
Sorry, I needed one bad joke.
Sweet joke, dude.
No, but here's an interesting point for fodder. Do we think Guns N' Roses might win?
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry.
Okay. We're talking about potential game of the year for the Twippies.
Yeah. So
Guns N' Roses, Turtles, Avengers.
Yeah. What did Stern come out with this year? Turtles,
Well, Stranger Things is in there, but
Stranger
they're not
Things,
going to win.
Turtles,
Yeah.
Avengers. Those were the 3 cornerstones. We'll
Yep.
probably get a 4th one at the end of the
Yeah,
year.
probably. Or
Okay.
Led Zeppelin or Queen. It sounds like maybe now. So what do you pick then? Oh, sorry, Spooky Pinball, Rick and Morty,
Yeah,
of course.
Rick and Morty's in there. Funny enough, I have not played a Rick and Morty. I have not played a Turtles. I have not played a Guns N' Roses. I have not
Avengers.
played Avengers. Location Pinball is all dried up by us.
It is.
And
But your best friend has a Turtles.
is it still there?
Yes. You suck.
I'll have to go there and play Turtles.
Ian never
So-
comes to visit me anymore.
I work. Fuck you, dude.
What do you think I do? Sit at home and jerk off?
From like 9 till about 11. Yes, that's what you do.
I have no dispute to that. What do you want me to say? You're wrong?
I don't.
That's my jerk off time. What do you
That's not
want?
right.
Jesus.
God, you're a marathoner.
I didn't say it's a full 2 hours. That's just my block of time.
Eric Brandon Walker, GNR wins Best Light Show. No way GNR wins.
yeah.
Oh, hold on. All right, we got to go back here.
What a jerk. Dump him, Drew, says Rachel. You're right.
Oh, come on, Rachel. What did I do?
He's a bad hetero life partner.
What
right
did I
now.
do? What was
Bad
so
hetero
bad?
life. Don't come visit me. My wife. Oh, sorry. I'm going to say this now because this is perfect timing for this. My wife invited him over for a fire we had on Friday night. Tribe member Eric Braden Walker and his wife came over, and Ian didn't come over, and then my wife just called him a pussy.
Yeah.
And she wanted to make sure I told everyone that she called him a pussy.
Yeah, she did. I'm sorry it's being a pussy because I want to spend time with my daughter and wife.
They
but
were
whatever.
they were invited too.
She goes to bed at 8. What kind of bonfire? Oh, it's dark out. We got to go. How does that work? Fucking bonfire. Motherfucker. All right.
Anyways, no, but seriously. So we're getting some good feedback here. So yeah, TMNT, Guns N'
GNR
Roses.
wins Best Light Show, obviously.
Yeah. Oh,
I'd say so.
hands down. I mean, you can't even.
Tim Lee, no way GNR wins it. More Stern fans.
Rachel,
That's true.
you
It's all
would
about
love
the fans.
Mrs. Drew. She's a firecracker for sure. She doesn't hold.
Are we
back.
going on for another 10 minutes? Oh, fuck yeah, Jonathan. We're not done yet.
Yeah, I got to pee here soon, so we might have to take.
We'll do a cocktail break.
Yeah.
TMNT, best art, Tim Lee. You know, that's up there.
TMNT is up there. I mean,
It's good art.
I was
That's fucking
playing a
great
couple
art.
games before I got here today, and so Ian was. I don't even want to say give me shit. Ian was commenting to me earlier this week that when I talk about turtles, I don't get as excited, and he
Right.
was right. But it has nothing to do with the game. So
Yeah.
here's what I learned today. My job sucks. Everyone knows that. Well, maybe you don't, but now you do. I've been really stressed out, working a lot. I haven't been playing nearly as much pinball as I did a few months ago. So today I get on there, I play a few games, I blow it up. I'm in love with the thing.
There you go.
It's fast, it's flowy. It is because Ian's like, well, you think it's an ass kicker and stuff, which is cool, and it is. It is a brutal ass kicker, but very, very good. And yeah, it's gonna stick around a while. So.
Scat folk,
Turtles is good.
how do you vote if you won't likely see those 3 of those choices in person? You're right. That's kind of my point.
That is, well, that's the thing. Guns N' Roses, they're gonna sell a lot. I don't know if a lot of them are gonna hit locations. People aren't gonna
well,
play them.
that's the thing too. That was let me see here.
Game of the year will be Ian's teeth are brighter than my future. Yeah, Jesse J. He's got some bright teeth.
Thanks.
I got some yellow teeth.
John Casson, Dr. John said this was his point, and it's kind of what I was alluding to.
We
Depends
can't-
on how many people get access to the games to vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Dr. John, we can't tell when you're sitting down if you're still excited.
Jesus, you can't see his pants. He's got pants on, kids. I've seen him.
Uh,
I've also seen the bulge.
He's sitting next to Ian, so he must be excited. Every day. Every day, Therese. Every day.
Oh, you're such a fucking wonderful man. All right, so Ian should have came to Drew's house on Saturday night to play Turtles. It's fun. Fuck you, Eric. I was busy. All right, nice stamina, Drew. TMNT, Friday night, GNR. Our penis callus is a real thing.
Depends.
I'll
what you're
I'll
using.
tell a funny story since you're a doctor. So my brother, who is a little bit on the troublesome side, he's a pain in the ass, really. I remember
Slightly a delinquent.
totally a delinquent. He came. We were at a bar. It was me, my brother, and my father, and we're sitting there at the bar, and we're shooting the shit. We get a few pitchers of beer in, and before we know it, you know, the conversation gets loosey goosey, and we're just sharing like random personal shit, just man stuff, man talk. And my brother out of nowhere says, "Don't you hate it when you get zits on your dick?" And my dad and I looked at each other, then we looked at him and we're like, "I don't think those are zits, buddy." I don't think you get pimples on your dick, dude. I'm pretty sure that's an STD. Should probably go get that checked out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was always something. Let's show Ian some love. Thanks, Tish. I appreciate it. I love Mrs. Drew. Yep, I'm behind. Let's see. Let's keep going. All right. Should we take the story is not going to end well. It never does, Orby. All right, we're going to take a cocktail break. We're going to refresh. Drew's got to piss. But we do want to come back and shoot the shit some more. It's only 9:53 here.
We'll have some fun for
We got some time, and I also want to plug a tribe member's tourney. So I have some things to do. All right, so let us go into our cocktail break. We'll see you in a bit.
Jurassic Park. I got.
All right, we're back, and there's cheese slices. Drew and I were just trying to figure out life in general while you guys were sitting there. All right, so let me get these things on.
Apparently, I'm typing a bunch of Fs.
What the hell was that?
My headphones were on the keyboard.
Oh, that's great.
Valentine's Day all over again? No, not Tim Lee. It's just me and Ian this time. It's yeah.
Oh, did Tish leave us? Crap, the bar here is closing. Gotta go home. Oh, I love that she listens to us at the bar. All right, so, well, this was actually going to be for Tish. I wanted to talk about, she has a tournament with a fellow tribe member. Let me pull this up here because she's so sweet. Tish always messages me. She's like the coolest. So we have Frieden, who is also a member, a tribe member, and they have...
Do we have the tribe member list here?
We do. So those are the updated. Oh, it's not totally updated because
Brian
Cosner's in there.
Yep. Number 34. So that is the tribe list. Plus Brian Cosner. Welcome, Brian. So what else, man?
I'm trying to figure out where this. Okay, so trying to understand exactly what Tish wanted us to. If y'all give mine and Freedom's attorney a podcast shout. So I'm assuming what it is. Okay. So they're doing a virtual Battles of the Bells. Bells and Chimes, Columbus Pinball Expo, and Pinball Super Friends are bringing you an amazing tournament hosted by the rad ladies of Hot Nudge. So essentially it's going to be Thursday evening.
Did you say Hot Nudge?
That's what it says here, dude. I don't know what this
sounds-
is. It sounds like a whole lot of things. It sounds like something personal, to be honest. Frieden, if you're on here, help us out here. But so if you aren't a woman, all right. So register for the Rad Babes, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share this on our Poormans Pinball podcast page.
Perfect.
But it sounds like it's a virtual tourney for the Bells and Chimes ladies. So I think that would be freaking awesome. And so if you guys want to see how it's really done, let me see. Share to a group.
Jesse J, we think it's the virtual Bells and Chimes tourney, but we're not sure. We will share it on the page.
Hot Nudge are rad, Jesse J. Yes, it is. All very. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share it because unfortunately Tish didn't send me all the information, but I will get that to you guys. So please take a look at that when we do share it on the page. So I'm going to get my beer here. Drew, what do you want to talk about, brother? We got
Whatever
all night, man.
We
all
do.
night.
We do. And we have over 400 comments, and 300 of them are about my nipples.
Fuckers are writing code about your nipples. I think Tim Lee had a string code on there for your nipples to show
Hey,
your
that's
nipples.
okay. I like when Tim Lee gets out of his comfort zone and starts getting crazy with us.
Tim Lee, you still on there, or is he gone? Maybe is gone.
He's there.
All right, so
He's there. Tim, I know you're there.
so Guns N' Roses thoughts, have they changed at all? Have you? I listened to Kaneda's podcast today, actually, and that's the first pinball podcast I've listened to in the last 3 weeks. So
Yeah, so when I listened to Zach and Dennis talk about it,
yeah.
and I talked to Tim Lee, who played it.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Lee went with his family to the local, I think it was Helicon Brewery, I think it's called. But they played Avengers and they played Guns N' Roses, and he's like, dude, I think I'm getting Guns N' Roses.
Good for him.
Yeah, awesome for him. So I think...
Jesse J still typing code for Drew's nipples. Jesse J, you know, any more of this shit, it's going to be sexual harassment, Jesse J. So watch yourself.
I love sexual harassment.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Drew wants to be harassed. Look how red his face gets every time you mention it.
Well, to be fair, my face is red like all the
It gets
time.
redder when Jesse J types something to you.
So, anyways,
It's ridiculous.
I think with the I think everyone keeps talking about the theme integration, and like you said, it's a concert. If you're into rock music, you know, everyone knows the music. I think the music is almost universally loved for the most part, you know.
Yeah, it's like everyone likes Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
But nobody's like, a diehard fan of Guns
Sure,
N'
sure.
Roses.
But they have 21
They're
tracks.
universal.
Yes, exactly. It's one of those things, if the song starts playing, people start singing along.
Oh, everyone knows the song.
Correct.
Yeah, I get it.
So, I think, I don't know. I think it's worth
Unless
a
you're
look.
Ari Jones.
Yeah.
Or Chris
Sure.
Couliris.
Sure. There's a couple outliers out there
Yeah.
that say this game is definitely not for me. I'm reserving judgment.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm growing as a pinball person, and I'm like, I'm not gonna jump on the newest shiny. But with that being said, it looks really fucking great.
There you go.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no. Listening to the Canada's podcast, he talked a little bit about it. He had a good point. About,
Sorry, Dr. John. Everyone knows about 2 songs. No, I know like 3.
yeah.
You got Paradise City. You got Sweet Child of Mine. What else that everyone knows?
So
November
Tim Lee,
Rain.
how was Chris Franchi? I know you met him. That was probably it was the most awkward photo I've ever seen. 2 gentlemen
Guys, I love both of you. Both of you guys just
grab each
look-
other by the ass or something. Have a little
See,
fun.
Well, that's the thing. If it was Ian and I, we'd be like embracing in a big bear hug or.
Well, we did that with Todd Tuckey, and they never shared the video.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got me, Ian, and Todd Tuckey all in a picture at Expo.
I think we were trying to kiss Todd Tuckey. It got weird, and then they were filming, and then I thought we'd for sure make the reel. Didn't make the TNC.
Well, the
reel.
first time we saw Chris Franchi, we met him in person and gave him a big old bear hug.
Of course we did. We
Yeah.
waited for the bear hug. Yeah.
Like he's an impressive man in person.
He is impressive.
Like Chris Franchi, you might see pictures of him. He's really tall. He's probably like 6'4". I mean, he's a tall dude, and he's beefy.
Yeah,
He's like me if I was like tall.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, that was an awkward.
But yeah.
But how was great, dude? Yeah, Tim Lee, I'd agree. Chris Franchi was super fucking cool when we met him. One of my favorites. So listening to Canada's podcast, you had a good point, and I know some of you are like, "Oh, blah blah blah, he's been crazy lately."
Oh yeah, welcome
It is
to
what
the
it is.
jungle. Sorry, Rachel, I forgot their biggest hit of all time.
Yeah. So, but he did mention that, and this was pretty cool and level-headed of him. But he said, regarding people bitching about, oh, which one's better, Avengers or Guns N' Roses? Well, he's like them both. He's like, but they're totally different games. You're talking about a Avengers game by fucking Keith Elwin, the master of flow, the new master of flow. Sorry, Steve Ritchie. He can design that. He said he could design these kind of games in his sleep. Avengers is gonna be fast as shit. It's gonna be super fun. It's gonna be kinetic. Guns N' Roses isn't gonna be that game. It just won't be.
A light bulb just went off in my head. Yes, for just a pure pinball fan, Avengers is probably better
Yeah.
because it has like more shots. It has a couple.
I don't know if it has more shots, but
Well,
it's definitely
it has
faster.
It's faster.
If you like the speed of pinball.
Speed, flow. It's got a couple of really cool mechs with
Because
the lock on
he designs that shit just to fucking just rock and roll. Let's get crazy.
Yeah.
Eric, I thought, took Guns N' Roses and pinball in a whole nother, took it to another level. He took games like Twilight Zone and updated it and made it again a spectacle. Pinball a spectacle.
If you're
And
going,
it's a goddamn work of art. They're both amazing games.
if
my point.
absolutely, you go
And
into
Canada's point it's the same. They were both amazing games. You just, it's just they're different games.
Very
and so
different.
if
Very
you
different.
and Tim Lee, you've played both. What do you say, Tim Lee? GNR
Here we
is
go.
just fun.
Yep.
Hardcore competitive players probably aren't going to look at it. Avengers is a player's game. Yeah, and that's kind of what Canada was saying, and I don't even think he's played in Avengers, but by the look of it, the streams, absolutely, I would agree with him 100%, and I think that's a great take, Tim Lee, and for Chris as well. I think.
Hi, Tish. Tish is back.
Oh, hey Tish, could you do us a favor and help us out? We were trying to promote your tournament. Is this the online Bells and Chimes tourney?
Whoa, wait a minute. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
No. So he also that's all I really wanted to say. And then Tish, I'm gonna share it with the the Poor Man's Pinball podcast page. But anyway, so back to Kaneda's. That was kind of his take. I thought it was a really good, strong take, and that's kind of how I'm going to probably approach it once I play these games. But I'm really thinking that I'm probably going to enjoy both, for different reasons.
Yeah, I think, I'm a comic book nerd. Avengers appeals to that for me, because I'm a pinball and comic nerd. So you kind of put those together. I'm like, I'm
nerd.
sold. Yeah,
Nerd.
But then on the other
you
hand,
don't look like a nerd. You're so beefy. Oh, Jesse J, are you jealous now?
But Guns N' Roses appeals to that. I like, the rock music, and I like the loud sounds and the high energy and the multi-ball. See, multi-balls all day. Great.
I'm into multiple balls.
Yeah. So here's another one. You can't lose. You could literally flip a coin, pick one, and you'd be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for me personally, the speed and flow of Avengers is fun. I like that idea. Again, not really my theme. If I was going to choose between the two, I would, if I had a quarter and I had 1 quarter left and
you couldn't play either one.
I couldn't play either one.
So,
but if they were set to 25 cents, it was like 75% off night.
If it was 1990. Okay, go ahead. Ian's living in the past.
I'd play GNR. I would love to experience it because I'm an experienced kind of guy. I'm a good pinball player. I'm not the greatest. I'm not even fucking remotely above average. I'm just good.
But hang on.
And I like to do it.
There's one more thing to consider with these two. Ooh. Okay. So if you are price conscious, like us, at the Poor Man's Pinball Podcast, poormanspinball@gmail.com.
poormanspinball@gmail.com.
That was our only professional take for the whole day.
That was it, kids.
We sounded good.
Just a bit outside.
So you have $7,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can, and it costs a little more for the premium, but you could either get a used premium Avengers, or you could get a new Guns N' Roses standard. Now I might take pause and probably go with the Avengers. Does that make sense?
No, say it again.
Okay.
Slower.
So the Avengers premium,
which is how much?
Well, it's $7,600, but when it's sold used, it'll probably be about $7,000, give or take, right? $6,800. That's what used premiums go for. Or Guns N' Roses.
You talking new Guns N' Roses?
Yep, standard. No upper playfield. You're missing some of the bells and whistles.
I'd still go Guns N' Roses, but that's just me.
Okay.
But you're a comic book.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That would make me, because if I'm going to go Guns N' Roses, I'm going with the LE.
To this point, you had $9,500 in your wallet.
Yes.
Which one are you going with?
Correct. Now you're talking Avengers LE.
Yeah.
Or Guns N' Roses LE, and I'm probably going Guns N' Roses.
Right. Exactly.
But that's $3,000 more than I'd be spending on a premium.
Math, whatever.
Yeah, math.
Fucking
money.
I got a quarter. I just want to play one game and I can't. Can I get a shot and a beer for a quarter?
You would have to sell like 10 Oktoberfest.
There used to be
Guns N' Roses.
Man, the way that price is dropping,
like a rock.
It's staying in my collection. It's not going
Brian
anywhere.
Kaz says, I keep all my games at 50 cents to help all the foremen out there.
Thanks, Brian.
And Kaz, we appreciate that, but you still can't get it for a quarter, can you?
All right. So anyway, so should we go on? Move on. I thought that was good. That was good, right?
Good.
We
That was
talked.
good.
We talked.
Yeah.
There was words.
Yeah, words came out. We did fine.
So the other thing Kaneda said, he had some rumors. You want to hear some rumors?
I do want to hear rumors. I'm waiting.
All right.
for
The first one is not really a big shocker. He says you're not going to see Toy Story until the end of the year next year, which makes sense. 2021.
Do you think they're just going to keep churning these out?
Yeah, their sales are too good for Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, but do they have more than one line?
I think it's all Guns N' Roses. They got.
Well, I know, but do they have 2 lines?
I thought they had 3.
Okay,
They might all be Guns N'
That's
Roses.
my question, though. But see, Stern goes back and forth. And
Yeah,
goes, I don't know. Okay,
I don't
go
think
ahead.
they're going to do that.
No, that makes sense.
They're not Stern at all.
Sure. No, absolutely not.
That was
Okay.
rumor number 1.
Okay.
I kind of believe that one. Rumor number 2. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
CGC. This is CGC rumor. The rumor is the reason why the delay is that Cactus Canyon is not the next game, but they're going to be releasing Theater of Magic to capitalize on the Papa Duke, Raza stuff. And he thinks he's been hearing that the Cactus Canyon isn't as complete as Theater of Magic, and they're going to go into that.
Which one would you rather have?
Neither.
Wow, hot take.
Fuck them. I don't.
No, you
listen, again, if I had $9,000 or $8,000 to buy one of those, I'm not buying one of those. I could, if I had $8,000, I can buy them today. I don't get it.
Argue.
I'll take that $8,000 and I'll buy a Guns N' Roses. I will buy something new.
Okay.
This is why, and I said this fucking last year on this show, that the CGC model's all backwards. They started with the best games first that are way more than, you save money buying those. But starting from the top down, you're only getting worse games.
Well, you say worse, but for some people it's not. I mean,
but price-wise,
but some people,
it's a terrible business model because Medieval Madness,
there's
Attack
a
from
lot
Mars,
of people.
Monster Bash, we're going 10, 12 grand.
Now
you're selling them for 7, 8 grand. Now you're making people happy. But now you're getting to that range of $7,000 and $8,000. Why you can buy that anytime.
Yeah, but when they started that, the games weren't nearly that much. That was the problem.
Well, I'm just saying it's
the new games that were coming out, I should say.
Is there a game you would be interested in as a remake?
Well, yeah, it's already made. It's called Attack from Mars.
See?
No.
So what are they going to do for the next?
Theater of Magic interests me, but I don't think I would purchase it.
Right.
And then
it would be nice to have a brand new Theater of Magic, though. One that's like works.
That's what I'm saying.
And give it the CGC treatment.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. It's
It
intriguing.
is interesting. And then what else? I mean, your list is pretty long. I mean, you can go into the well and pick a lot of games, but
Jonathan Hall, I would pay twice as much for a Medieval Madness versus a Cactus Canyon. Yeah,
I agree with that.
100%.
Oh, there you go. There's Jesse J for you. If something about Indiana Jones, hang on.
Dude, Indiana Jones is the only CGC game I'm interested in.
I'd buy a CGC Indie Classic for $59.95. Yes, Brian Cosner. I think Ian would be right behind you in line.
I would be in front of you.
You would sell Oktoberfest.
I'd be behind him with the reach around.
Okay,
what's
so
that?
let's say they just throw a complete curveball and they're like, Indiana Jones is available at $7,500. Do you get rid of Oktoberfest?
No, it would sit pretty next to the Oktoberfest.
Okay, fair enough. But you would be in on that, right?
I'd have to be.
Yeah, okay.
I'd sell all sorts of shit
Sure.
to make that happen.
Sure. Yeah, and for me, like I said, Attack from Mars is on my maybe list. So
Still a great game.
it is. It's a fantastic game. And
The Pinball FX guys did a good job with it, so I've been getting my fix there. But
Ricky McClung, I played a Super Mint Theater of Magic, not worth Medieval Madness remake price. Yeah,
no, and that's the whole point.
It is. I mean, right now those games are going for $6,000 maybe if they're really nice, maybe 6,500, 7, and
yeah, I don't care about the as many bells and whistles CGC is going to probably throw at some of these newer releases. They're going to have to do something really special with these new releases, these remakes. If they're going to, they're really just at the end of the day, they really just have to release new shit, right?
How about Addams Family with new cartoon characters? Yeah, that's another one. I mean, Addams Family they've talked about would be one that would be.
And
high
how the
on
fuck is
everyone's
that
list.
still so expensive? They made 20,000 of them.
That
Right, they're 20,000 beat to shit ones.
Yeah, it's still mind-boggling though. You're right,
crazy.
because even
Good
if
game though.
you find one that's beat to shit, they're like, yeah, that'll be $5,000.
Yeah,
and it doesn't work.
It's like
and
Indiana
whatever.
Jones.
Yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, should we wrap this up?
Wrap it up. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Emails at the Poor Man's Pinball podcast, or sorry, the Poor Man's Pinball at gmail.com. Email us there. No, it's right down there. Right.
Find us on Twitter, Poor Man's Pinball. Find us on Facebook, Poor Man's Pinball Podcast. Find us on YouTube, Poor Man's Pinball Podcast. Find us here on, where are we? Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Poor Man's Pinball Podcast. We're on Facebook right now.
You can find us anywhere.
Fucking find us. You know where we are.
You can text Ian at 414.
Nope, stop that.
Doesn't have Drew's nipples.
So, yeah, should we talk about phone numbers? Never mind. So that's yeah. And again, if you're just listening to us, I would really, really encourage you guys to follow us.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks.
Follow us on
Roberto,
Facebook,
Brian.
and that really helps us. And you might enjoy that
Guys,
live show.
Get your friends on board. We don't need you to buy anything. We like it. Remember, don't forget Silverball swag. Buy our shit.
Buy our shit.
But that's not what we want. We want all.
Chat's ridiculous.
We want all.
You guys need to experience this chat.
All the pinball eyeballs and earballs on us.
I've been on Jack Danger's streams. I've been on
Good
Flipping
night,
Out
Mike
streams.
Williams.
This chat is the most ridiculous of them all by far. So
Oh,
I
totally.
appreciate it, guys. So thank you very much. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, guys. I love you.
I wonder what's inside your book. 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 Maybe there's astronauts, maybe there's aliens all inside your book. Maybe there's astronauts, maybe there's aliens all inside your book. I wonder what's inside your book. What's inside your book? I always wanna know. I wonder what's inside your book. What's inside your book? I always wanna know. What's inside your book? I always wanna know. I wonder what's inside your book. Maybe there's astronauts, maybe there's aliens all inside your book. I wonder what's inside your book. What's inside your book? I always wanna know. I wonder what's inside your book. What's inside your book? I always wanna know. Wonder what's inside your book. What's inside your book? I always wanna know. I wonder what's inside your book. What's inside your book? I always wanna know. What's inside your book? I always wanna know. What's inside your book?
The views expressed on this podcast don't necessarily reflect the views of our sponsors. Obviously, they don't really care as much as we do about buttholes and what's inside them. So, thanks for listening, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.